Good morning. I'm. It is currently 6:20 a.m. Monday, March 9th, 2015. I'm Christiana Ellis, and I just got up. This is 5 more minutes. I had that brief stumble there because see, now the clock says 6:21. When I looked at the clock on my clock radio, it said it was a few minutes ahead apparently, and so I thought I had missed 6:21 for today, but then when I came and sat down at the computer, it was only 6:20, and I'll confess that I considered whether I should sit here and wait for it to turn to 6:21 before I started so I could say it was 6:21 again, but I figure it's not a real mystical pattern if you wait to make it happen. Or, I don't know, maybe that's actually what defines a real mystical pattern. Anyway, wow, I'm a minute in. PAX Day 3, the last day was yesterday, and I think rather than go long like I did the last couple of days, there's several things that happened that I could talk for 5 minutes about easily, but I think I want to generally try to keep this show back more in the format of only 5 minutes. Little dog's got the squeaking going. So what did I do yesterday? Well, I went to two panels. One was romance in video games, and that one was pretty fun. A lot of it was just kind of lighthearted conversation about what we like about romance in video games, but there were some interesting tidbits, just in particular how the challenge is how to create a romance that's not just like a vending machine where you put enough approval tokens in and then you get to have sex. One example given there is the writer of the Telltale Wolf Among Us game was there, and she was talking about how she got feedback because in that game, spoiler warning for the game, you're not able to actually have a romantic relationship between the main character Bigby and then Snow. All you can, there's tension, sexual tension there, and you can kind of lean into that or away from it, but you're not going to be able to consummate a relationship at any point in that one, partly because it's in canon with the comics, and so it's limited by that. They couldn't have gone that way without breaking canon, but she got feedback of people complaining, I just went in and I agreed with her every time, and yet we didn't ever get to have a romance. And she was saying, well, the character of Snow is written so that she's not actually always right, So maybe the idea that you want to just say whatever a woman wants to hear all the time until she'll have sex with you is not the right way to go about it. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Lots of just fun details because they had basically the writers there behind, like Dragon Age and Mass Effect and some of the Telltale games. Some of the games that I at least in what I've played, get romances pretty right. Anyway, okay, I'm losing time. So the other panel that I went to is the KindaFunny guys that I did the meetup for yesterday. They had their panel today, and a lot of it was just silly stuff, but part of it was also them just talking about their decision to leave their relatively well-paying jobs at IGN to kind of go into business for themselves with this Patreon supported model, and that it's inspiring. And so without getting too far into it, what I'll just say is that every little bit helps in terms of being a reminder to make sure that you make the time for your passion projects, like my own writing, for example, of which I did an hour after coming home from PAX yesterday. And I'm almost at 5 minutes, but I did play two demos as well. Severed from Drinkbox Studios is a PlayStation Vita exclusive that has a visual style very similar to Guacamelee, but it's a first-person swordplay game, and it's actually really cool. I'm looking forward to it a lot now. I also played Gigantic, which is hard to describe. It's kind of a big three-person arena, kind of like Dota if it was just a regular third-person action game, but with that game structure kind of. Anyway, of over 5 minutes now. So remember, you can find all my stuff at christianaellis.com, and I will talk to you tomorrow for 5 more minutes.